Hello everyone. In the previous lectures, we had discussed about the LTE frame structure. In the today's lecture, we are going to have a discussion on the physical resource block. This physical resource block is one slot of your uh, frame structure. That is LTE frame structure we have studied, right? In that one slot or the every slot in that particular frame is described by a time frequency grid and is called as a physical resource block. Here you can see number of cells, right? And it is described as follows. Every column, you can see every column is said to be an OFDM symbol, and every row, this is one row, this is second row, third row, like that. Every row indicates a subcarrier. Say this has 15 kilohertz subcarrier, next one is 15 to 30 kilohertz subcarrier, next one is 30 to 45 kilohertz subcarrier. Likewise, it goes depending on the bandwidth of the particular channel. Okay. Similarly, in this direction, it is the number of symbols. This is one symbol, this is another symbol, this is another symbol in time domain. Okay, that is what has been explained here. And duration of resource grid, as I've said, this duration of resource grid is one slot, and we are going to see there will be number of resource blocks in one grid. If I consider this as a resource grid, you can see this is only one resource block. There might be several resource block depending on the bandwidth given for the particular channel. So here one block is there. Next, above this another block might be there. Beside this another block might be there. Again, here also below this another block might be there. So there will be number of blocks, not beside, okay, vertically. This is one block, this is another block, likewise third block, fourth block. So different number of blocks depending on the number of subcarriers which we can utilize in the particular bandwidth. Okay, that's about the basic structure of physical resource block, and we'll study step by step what are the limits of number of subcarriers, number of resource blocks, and the number of OFDM symbols in a particular resource block, and also number of OFDM symbols uh, in particularly in the whole channel. And we'll also understand what is the resource element and the OFDM symbol durations. This is what I have already explained. Next is coming to the resource grid. This complete structure, okay, including all the resource block, is called as resource grid. One smallest element in the resource grid, what we assume is resource block. Okay, now in this resource grid, it can be said as the structure of each resource grid is characterized by the following three parameters, that is the number of downlink resource blocks, n downlink resource block, number of NDLRB, it specifies the number of downlink resource blocks. It depends on the transmission bandwidth, and it should be between some minimum and max value, and generally it will be between 6 to 110 resource blocks will be there. You can see this is one resource block. Likewise, there will be 6 resource blocks in one slot, or maximum 110 resource block in particular slot. Next point is the values of NDL, RB, here it should come RB, okay. For several current specified bandwidths are listed in table 6.2. Already we have studied 6.2. You can see over here number of resource blocks 6, 15, 25, 50, 75 and 100 depending on the bandwidth, okay. Next one is the number of subcarriers in each in resource blocks. So sorry, you can see in this resource block these are number of subcarriers. There are number of subcarriers. This is one subcarrier, this is another, this is another, this is another. How many subcarriers are going to fit in one resource block? Okay, that is explained in this point. It depends on the subcarrier spacing. If you have 15 kilohertz 15 kilohertz subcarriers, then satisfying 180 kilohertz of block length, the complete block length, this length will be given for every slots, every resource block. It will be given only 180 kilohertz in vertical direction. In that 180 kilohertz, depending on this delta, this value, okay, one slot's frequency. If it is 15 kilohertz, you are going to get 12 subcarriers. If you are having 7.5 kilohertz subcarrier bandwidth, then you are going to have 24 different subcarriers per resource block. That is why he has given NSC RB multiplied by delta F is equal to 180 kilohertz. If you want NSC RB, then you have to divide delta F 180 kilohertz divided by delta F we have to do. Then we'll get around 12 as our number of subcarriers per block. That is what explained over here. In some example we can see this in the next slide. Next is the number of OFDM symbols in each block. So now we have seen how many subcarriers are there in this block, that is 12. How many OFDM symbols will be there? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can count 7 over here. 7 OFDM symbols per each resource block. That means there will be 12 subcarriers and 7 OFDM symbols. This OFDM symbol numbers, it depends on actually the CP length, cyclic prefix length, and the subcarrier spacing. Subcarrier spacing is delta F. Usually it is 15 kilohertz. CP is for normal length, it will be, you are going to have 7 OFDM symbols. Otherwise, for extended CP, you are going to have 6 OFDM symbols. Next, what we have is each downlink resource grid has n DLRB multiplied by n RBSC multiplied by n DL SIMB, number of resource elements. That is, the resource grid will be having number of resource elements which is given by the multiplication of the number of downlink resource blocks multiplied by the number of subcarriers resource block in the resource blocks with the number of OFDM symbols in each block. And what is this resource element? This resource element is smallest unit of the resource block. What we are going to get with this equation is, we are going to get number of elements in a complete resource grid. For one slot, how many resource elements we can fit in with particular number of OFDM symbols having a particular subcarrier. Okay, that is what will be given by this equation. Let us take an example and see how many resource elements we can have in a resource grid for a 10 megahertz bandwidth. Assume that the carrier frequency is 15 kilohertz, which is delta F is equal to 15 kilohertz. Then for normal CP, we get the downlink resource blocks. Number of downlink resource blocks will be 50, which can be seen from the table number 6.2, which we have already discussed in the previous topic. And number of subcarriers will be 12 and number of symbols per subcarrier will be 7, which is which can be detected from this table 6.4. Using this, if we substitute these values in the above equation, what we get is 4200 resource element in the downlink resource grid. In one slot, we are going to have 4200 resource elements. One subcarrier with 7 OFDM symbols. That is the result. If at all we have extended cyclic prefix, then these values of number of subcarriers and number of symbols will change. You can see over here for delta F is equal to 15 kilohertz with extended cyclic prefix, we will have number of subcarriers as 12 as earlier, but number of symbols per subcarrier will be now 6. Here, if delta F I have chosen 7 kilohertz, we are going to have the number of subcarriers as 24 and number of symbols as 3. I hope you have understood about the resource element, resource block, and combined together the resource grid in the physical resource blocks of LTE downlink. It should have been resource blocks, okay? I will correct it. The physical resource blocks of LTE downlink. This is what has been explained, resource element and resource block. In the next lecture, we will understand the resource allocation technique in downlink. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.